By now, you have definitely seen one of the thousands, if not tens of thousands, of videos on the Apple Watch Ultra. YouTuber after YouTuber just shoving its glory right down your pretty little throat. You may or may not agree, but Apple is in a league of its own when it comes to creating hype videos. Some Apple products, though, are totally worth the hype. My M1 Max 14-inch MacBook Pro, holy smokes, for what I do, it's worth every penny. But other Apple products, when you actually use them in real world situations, they are just hype. And for me, that was the Apple Watch 4. Basically, they pitched this idea of, okay, Brandon, hear us out. We know you've already got a very good phone that you charge at the end of the day, but how's this? How would you like a smaller, less capable phone that you wear on your wrist, but you do also have to charge it at the end of every day? Nah, hard pass.
Every explorer has a packing list. The essential tools for heading out into the unknown. We put as many of those tools on your wrist as we could. The result was the new Apple Watch Ultra.
Like 30 seconds into the video, the black and white with the color and the super rugged theme of it, I was like, I'm in, bye. But also the promise of new hefty battery life kind of sold me. But is better battery life a compelling enough reason for you to shell out $800? That is what we're testing today. What worlds open up to you when you can essentially ditch your phone for a day, possibly even more, by going to an Apple Watch Ultra? Today, I'm gonna be taking you through a very typical day for me. So maybe this applies to you, maybe it doesn't. Couple of things. One, I'll be leaving my phone at home and doing everything off my Apple Watch Ultra. This is going to drain the battery the absolute most. Two, since they just released a new Watch OS 9.1 update with a new low power mode, I'm gonna be turning that on and seeing what kind of battery life we can expect when combining these two things. So leaving the phone at home, but also using low power mode. If you've come to this video because you're also interested in maybe a Garmin Epix or Phoenix Solar, something like that, I'm not your guy, all right? Check out DesFit or Chase the Summit. They both excel at these types of comparisons. Let's start the experiment and see what the experience is like. To start this experiment, we're gonna fire up low power mode. To do that, you just swipe up from the watch face screen. You'll see a prompt to turn it on and a brief description of everything the low power mode does. I normally start my day off by commuting to the gym on my One Wheel. There is a One Wheel app that shows battery percentage and speed, but it only works if you have your phone on you, which is kind of lame. Wish it worked independently of the phone. As far as workouts go, right now I'm working on capacity and strength. Jiu-jitsu is kind of like my main sport, so all of my workouts are geared towards improving that. One of the big new features of the Apple Watch Ultra is the action button. I have mine set to starting a functional fitness workout. Low power mode does not affect this workout. It only affects walking, running, and hiking. So I also did a walking workout to see the difference between the two. Everything appears to be the same when I look through the metrics in the Apple Health app, with the exception of HRV. There's no HRV readings for either the functional fitness workout or the walking workout that I did on that day. Both workouts were 16 minutes each. Typically, I go for 45 to 90 minutes, so keep that in mind when we're looking at battery drain, but I was also late for jiu-jitsu. Obviously for jiu-jitsu, I can't wear my Apple Watch, so I'm wearing my Whoop. It's inside that sleeve. The Whoop is my go-to fitness tracker, and it's cool that the Whoop data can also be seen in the Health app alongside the Apple Watch data, but I really wish they had an Apple Watch app. It's about 11:45 and I've only lost 15% on battery life. From there, I take Henry for a quick walk and start on work. I work from home, so the Apple Watch won't be using cellular. To be more focused while working, I've been using my phone as an overpriced alarm clock. I just set it up on this magnetic mount, and I also set it and my Apple Watch to work on the focus screen. And only those people I've selected will I get notifications from. Hey, I think that's a great idea. Thank you. Then when I have to leave to run errands or meet with a friend for a lunch meeting, I just leave the phone at home and use the Apple Watch Ultra to do everything. I can pay for gas, groceries, and food using Apple Pay, and even get directions.
Well, we're trying your dad and I.
And to cut down on the distracted driving, I can take calls or even send audio messages on the Apple Watch Ultra. Stoked that you're going to be home tomorrow. Speaking of which, what time do you get home tomorrow? There is a chance. After everything I had done, calls, texts, directions, cellular, paying for gas and groceries, by the time I got into bed, I had only used 49% of the battery. Experiment concluded. What did I find out? Being able to literally leave this thing at home for a day or two is kind of mind-blowing, and it's honestly changed some things about my life. Those things I'm gonna save for its own entire video. I will say that your mileage may vary on this. If you're somebody who's going to leave the phone at home, use GPS, use cellular, Apple Pay, text, call, you're living in a big city, you need directions, and you use it all day long, this might last 12 hours. But if you take a more conservative route like I do, maybe you work from home or you keep your phone on you, you don't have to use cellular as much, well, this could last up to almost 3 days. That is pretty badass. Do I think it's worth it for you? I'm not sure. Now that I have ditched the phone and I'm doing it more and more, I almost feel like this is an iPhone 14 Pro Max. I almost feel like this was the dumb buy. Like I should have just bought an iPhone mini, an iPhone SE, something really cheap because I really don't do too much with the cameras. I should have saved the money on this and spent all the money on this. Now there are a few limitations if you're trying to ditch your phone for an Apple Watch. For me, I haven't figured out how to use email yet on the Apple Watch. I can read it, but I can't respond. I'm not saying that it can't. I just don't know how to do it yet. The other thing is, like, you don't have, the internet, so you can't browse for things. If you're in a gym that way, that kind of sucks, but that's what I do when I get home. Well, what did you think? What did you think of the experiment? If you thought this video was helpful, insightful, or hell, even entertaining, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Also, consider subscribing because I am doing a dedicated video on what has changed in my life for the better by ditching this and just using an Apple Watch Ultra. Well, thanks again for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.